In order to further understand the dynamic between the street and building relationship, the revitalization of previously run-down areas, the importance and origin of history, methods of giving place longevity, and the relationship between the different industries symbiotically surviving with one another, this project has proved invaluable. Melville, which is a melting pot of industries and restoration projects for business owners looking to expand and individualize their trade. In a city that is so vast, with most locations far spread, creating areas that are multifunctional and host multiple disciplines makes for an inviting setting for both creatives as well as non-creatives. Development happens rapidly in economies which require the infrastructure to progress. The built environment's formation was dependent on an era in which it was developed. In this case, buildings were accessed by foot traffic on the street front, with units sharing adjoining interior walls. Understanding the nature of the neighbor's business and upkeep thereof was interrelated. From an interior design perspective, capitalizing on the marketing advantages of being on the consumer's footstep is being grasped. Interior designs spill out into the consumer's walkway, allowing the design's reach and footprint to stretch. This provides a foundation for alternative creative networks and industries, an evolving geographical climate, and diversifies the social and cultural context. As most buildings were built from 1896, the dilapidation of certain sections became evident. However, in the last decade, an interest in the area led to the restoration and repurposing of many buildings. Maintaining the originality of the building and marrying with modern ideas of design has made for an authentic and relevant environment. There is a mentality in which buildings are flattened and rebuilt to suit the current modern climate, if not protected by heritage site laws. However, by honoring the history these buildings have witnessed, the location is gifted meaning and added value. Consumers appreciate the dialogue that occurs between what was, what is, and what that personally represents. Within the upliftment and revitalization of units lining the street, individuality and design is within close proximity, which has encouraged new faces and designs to flourish and symbiotically develop alongside neighboring creatives. The area has accommodated for small business owners, creatives, and artisans alike to develop alongside one another. Although the individual creatives do not work collaboratively, by existing in this hub, the relationship between the different industries symbiotically surviving with one another and giving them the ability to support is evident. Although competition is in closer proximity, developing a business in an area that is in the midst of gaining momentum and developing makes for positive economic gain and ultimately growth. The business and design diversity in an area which holds meaning and nostalgia creates a unique space for business longevity. A rich population strengthened by diversity, this area creates nodes for a multitude of target markets. The spaces created are individual and in close proximity, making the location a melting pot for cultural diversity. The area lends itself to business owners having the freedom to gain the it factor over fellow competitors. Businesses aim to develop creative marketing campaigns and services to gain the first mover advantage. Developing an area that was not frequently populated, Melville looked to attract both creatives and non-creatives with the aim to repopulate and revive. Developing design solutions and services within walking proximity, the combination of the various design spaces and offerings has successfully attracted several market groups. Developing a design style that includes and considers a cause, social, environmental, or otherwise, can prove challenging. However, if explored deeply enough through a proposal and project, a plausible balanced business proposition may be gained. Currently, developing public spaces which are enjoyed by a variety of consumers aids in remolding the purpose, exposure, and relevance of the design field. Hubs such as Melville that are considered from a design perspective open up avenues for creation of other such hubs with a variety of causes and purposes. Previously, design through spaces and the value added by a positive surrounding was not given as much weight as it is currently. With design on the whole and forefront creativity, more and more industries are looking to design to give their business the edge on competitors, positive for the exposure of the creative industry. The concept of a pause area and the importance of consumer engagement with the space have only recently played a larger role in business perspectives. Interior design specifically, through the application to other industries, has had the opportunity to stretch and develop, whether through the input of professionals or the actual user. The design industry is interrelated with the capacity and knowledge to change economies of scale with a well-built proposal. This may be harnessed as a reaction to design problems to develop a resilient solution. The dynamic and players within the industry evolve quickly, along with the changing options lent through the development of materials, fittings, fixtures, furniture, and finishes within them. Understanding what has been developed and informing the design choices guided by these factors is how an area can be uplifted as opposed to uprooted. The design solution does not always revolve around new development, but harnessing and marrying the potential of existing sites and projects. Using the components that have contributed to what the site has become can add character and relativity to the site for the user. Utilizing collaboration between designers, users, or business to develop multi-dynamic, multifunctional, and efficient designs allows for the development of a solution which is genetically varied. Two main factors observed. Change and restoration simply needs an origin, a visionary to see potential. From this point onwards, the radiation of restoration, development, and repopulation increases with time. Second, interdisciplinary collaboration is not necessarily always direct, but rather an indirect support structure between professions with a common goal of delivering a service that encourages creative trades and repeat behavior from consumers.